This is the Infinite Moment Podcast, where we discuss topics that focus on stress relief solutions. Welcome to another episode of the Infinite Moment Podcast. Today we will be discussing how to manage work-related stress. And I would imagine this will be a pretty relatable topic because the majority of us do have jobs in order to earn income. And we spend a lot of our time every day at those jobs. Probably on average between 40 to 60 hours is what I would imagine most people work. I personally work about 50 to 55 hours a week, which I would think is probably about average nowadays. It seems like we have to work more and more to just make a livable income nowadays, with most households having both parents working, if there's two parents in the household in the first place. And a lot of people at this point either having to have roommates or not being able to afford homes. They have to rent small apartments, or just it can be quite a struggle to even earn the income in the first place. And what can make that even more difficult is working somewhere where you don't either enjoy what you're doing, or it's an environment that just causes a lot of stress. So we're really going to try to get into that topic today and break down how we can make the most of that situation, manage it so that we can earn the income we need to live a quality life, but at the same time not substitute our stress levels and compromise our health to earn the income. So we'll be looking at several different articles a day for tips and tricks on how to better manage that stress and to set an understanding on what workplace stress is. Of course, there may be a lot of nuance and differences that may come up in different workplace environments, but in general, there are some strategies and ways we can look at this and kind of devise a plan to make our experiences at work a more enjoyable, less stressful one. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first article for today. Coping with stress at work. This is an article from APA.org. Everyone who has ever held a job has at some point felt the pressure of work-related stress. Any job can have stressful elements, even if you love what you do. In the short term, you may experience pressure to meet a deadline or to fulfill a challenging obligation. But when work stress becomes chronic, it can be overwhelming and harmful to both physical and emotional health. Unfortunately, such long-term stress is all too common. In fact, APA's annual Stress in America survey has consistently found that work is cited as a significant source of stress by a majority of Americans. You can't always avoid the tensions that occur on the job, yet you can take steps to manage work-related stress. Common sources of work stress. Certain factors tend to go hand in hand with work-related stress. Some common workplace stressors are low salaries, excessive workloads, few opportunities for growth or advancement, work that isn't engaging or challenging, lack of social support, not having enough control over job-related decisions, conflicting demands or unclear performance expectations. Effects of uncontrolled stress. Work-related stress doesn't just appear when you head home for the day. When stress persists, it can take a toll on your health and well-being. A stressful work environment can contribute to problems such as headache, stomachache, sleep disturbances, short temper, and difficulty concentrating. Chronic stress can result in anxiety, insomnia, high blood pressure, and a weakened immune system. It can also contribute to health conditions such as depression, obesity, and heart disease. Compounding the problem, people who experience excessive stress often deal with it in unhealthy ways, such as overeating, eating unhealthy foods, smoking cigarettes, or abusing drugs and alcohol. Taking steps to manage stress. Track your stressors. Keep a journal for a week or two to identify which situations create the most stress and how you respond to them. Record your thoughts, feelings, and information about the environment, including the people and circumstances involved, the physical setting, and how you reacted. Did you raise your voice? Get a snack from the vending machine? Go for a walk? Taking notes can help you find patterns among your stressors and your reactions to them. Develop healthy responses. Instead of attempting to fight stress with fast food or alcohol, do your best to make healthy choices when you feel the tension rise. Exercise is a great stress buster. Yoga can be an excellent choice, but any form of physical activity is beneficial. Also make time for hobbies and favorite activities. Whether it's reading a novel, going to concerts, or playing games with your family, make sure to set aside time for things that bring you pleasure. Getting enough good quality sleep is also important for effective stress management. Build healthy sleep habits by limiting your caffeine intake late in the day and minimizing stimulating activities such as computer and television use at night. Establish boundaries. In today's digital world, it's easy to feel pressure to be available 24 hours a day. That might mean making a rule not to check email from home in the evening or not answering the phone during dinner. Although people have different preferences when it comes to how much they blend their work and home life, creating some clear boundaries between these realms can reduce the potential for work-life conflict and the stress that goes with it. Take time to recharge. To avoid the negative effects of chronic stress and burnout, we need time to replenish and return to our pre-stress level of functioning. This recovery process requires switching off from work by having periods of time when you are neither engaging in work-related activities nor thinking about work. That's why it's critical that you disconnect from time to time in a way that fits your needs and preferences. Don't let your vacation days go to waste. When possible, take time off to relax and unwind, so you come back to work feeling reinvigorated and ready to perform at your best. When you're not able to take time off, get a quick boost by turning off your smartphone and focusing your attention on non-work activities for a while. Learn how to relax. Techniques such as meditation, deep breathing exercises, and mindfulness, a state in which you actively observe present experiences and thoughts without judging them, can help melt away stress. Start by taking a few minutes each day to focus on a simple activity like breathing, walking, or enjoying a meal. The skill of being able to focus purposefully on a single activity without distraction will get stronger with practice, and you'll find that you can apply it to many different aspects of your life. Talk to your supervisor. Employee health has been linked to productivity at work, so your boss has an incentive to create a work environment that promotes employee well-being. Start by having an open conversation with your supervisor. The purpose of this isn't to lay out a list of complaints, but rather to come up with an effective plan for managing the stressors you've identified so you can perform at your best on the job. While some parts of the plan may be designed to help you improve your skills in areas such as time management, other elements might include identifying employer-sponsored wellness resources you can tap into, clarifying what's expected of you, getting necessary resources or support from colleagues, and enriching your job to include more challenging or meaningful tasks, or making changes to your physical workspace to make it more comfortable and reduce strain. Get some support. Accepting help from trusted friends and family members can improve your ability to manage stress. Your employer may also have stress management resources available through an employee assistance program, including online information, available counseling, and referral to mental health professionals if needed. If you continue to feel overwhelmed by work stress, you may want to talk to a psychologist who can help you better manage stress and change unhealthy behavior. Okay, so from that article, we can see that some of the common causes of stress at work include low pay, feeling overworked, and also boredom when you feel that the work isn't engaging or challenging enough. All too often, nowadays, people are expected to almost take work home with them in the sense that they must be connected to emails or potentially phone calls regarding work-related issues. So obviously that's going to cause stress in your life, especially when you're trying to balance your work life with your home life or your family life or your personal life. So it did give a couple of ways to approach this and how to begin to think about how you may want to handle excessive stress at work. Because if you don't properly address it, it can lead to some pretty serious health conditions. We've talked about it before where heightened stress caused high blood pressure, heart issues, weakened immune system, anxiety issues, insomnia and other sleep issues, even headaches, stomach aches. So we want to manage this so that we don't get to a point where we start making really bad decisions to manage the stress, such as eating too much or eating bad food, smoking cigarettes or doing drugs that are not beneficial, overly drinking alcohol, which is often built into work culture as well. So we're going to look at some of the more positive, productive ways to manage that stress. So first, you must become mindful of what the stressors at your workplace are in the first place. And one of the things they mention is you can keep a journal so that you can identify when these stressors come up throughout your day when you're at work. Maybe it's a boss who's riding you, who wants more and more. No matter what you do, it's never enough. Maybe it's your hours are getting cut because business has slowed down and you're now feeling the stress that you may not be able to pay all of your bills. Or it could be a coworker who is just a negative person and creating a negative work environment for everyone else. No matter what it is, it's first important to identify them so that we can then address each one appropriately. And some of those responses may come as establishing certain boundaries where you must distance yourself from certain people and only interact for certain reasons in order to have a more stress-free workplace environment. Maybe you need to take a walk or eat a high quality snack such as nuts or something that will give you some energy. Take your breaks. If you get 30 and 15-minute breaks, take your breaks. Just because you don't smoke doesn't mean you don't have to take your 15-minute break. You can go listen to a favorite song, or if you have a 30-minute break and you don't want to eat, maybe you can take a quick nap. It's up to you. You have to find what works best for you. Personally, for me, I don't really like napping at work. It actually makes me just want to kind of go home for the day. I'd rather just power through the work, get it done, and then relax afterwards. Sometimes that's not even available if you work a job where you may have to go on call it sometimes. Then you may still not be able to really disconnect for that amount of period where you're on call, but you can still have ways in which you separate your work from your personal life so that you don't feel like you're 24/7 at work. And if things are really bad, you may need to talk to the supervisor or other people about how to change the situation and potentially make it better. Or if it's just so bad and negative and no one wants to make a change, then your last resort may be to change your own situation and go ahead and look for a different job or another way to earn income, whether that's through starting your own business or, like driving for Uber or something like that. There's different ways nowadays, but identify and then plan on how to change. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and get to the next article. This article comes from verywellmind.com. 9 ways to cope with work stress and avoid burnout. Research has indicated that the percentage of Americans who are stressed at work is high, and it's only getting higher. According to a survey of more than 2,000 full-time U.S. employees ages 18 to 79, more than half of employees find themselves stressed during at least 60% of the work week. Work stress has significant health consequences that range from relatively benign, like getting more colds and flus, to potentially serious, such as heart disease and metabolic syndrome. While stress at work is common, finding a low-stress job is hard. A more realistic approach is to adopt effective coping strategies to reduce stress at your current job. You can take steps to manage work stress by sticking to a positive morning routine, getting clear on requirements at work, adopting smarter time management techniques, and other strategies outlined in this article. Create a pre-work ritual. After scrambling to get the kids fed and off to school, dodging traffic and combating road rage and gulping down coffee in lieu of a healthy breakfast, Many people arrive to work already stressed. This makes them more reactive to stress in the workplace. You might be surprised by how affected by workplace stress you are when you have a stressful morning. When you start off the day with planning, good nutrition, and a positive attitude, you might find that the stress of your job rolls off your back more easily. Get clear on your expectations for the day. A factor known to contribute to job burnout is unclear requirements for employees. If you don't know exactly what is expected of you, or if the right requirements for your role keep changing with little notice, you might become extremely stressed. If you find yourself never knowing if what you are doing is enough, it may help to have a talk with your supervisor. You can take the time to go over expectations and discuss strategies for meeting them. This can relieve stress for both of you. Avoid or reduce conflict with colleagues. Interpersonal conflict takes a toll on your physical and emotional health. Conflict among coworkers can be difficult to escape, so it's a good idea to avoid conflict at work as much as you can. Don't gossip, don't share too many of your personal opinions about religion and politics, and steer clear of colorful office humor. When possible, try to avoid people who don't work well with others. If conflict finds you anyway, make sure you know how to handle it appropriately. Plan ahead to stay organized. Even if you're a naturally disorganized person, planning ahead to stay organized can greatly decrease your stress at work. Being organized with your time means less rushing in the morning to avoid being late, as well as less hustling to get out at the end of the day. Keeping yourself organized can also mean avoiding the negative effects of clutter and being more efficient with your work. Create a comfortable work environment. Another surprising stressor at work is physical discomfort, often related to where you perform most of your daily tasks, such as your desk. You might not notice you're stressed if you're sitting in an uncomfortable chair for just a few minutes, but if you practically live in that chair when you're at work, you might have a sore back and be more reactive to stress because of it. Even small things like office noise can be distracting and cause feelings of low-grade frustration. Do what you can to create a quiet, comfortable, and soothing workplace. Choose chunking over multitasking. Multitasking was once heralded as a fantastic way to maximize one's time and get more done in a day. However, people eventually began to realize that if they had a phone to their ear and were making calculations at the same time, their speed and accuracy, not to mention sanity, often suffered. There is a certain frazzled feeling that comes from splitting your focus, and it doesn't work well for most people. Instead of multitasking, stay on top of your task. Try another cognitive strategy like chunking. Walk at lunch. Many people feel the ill effects of leading a sedentary lifestyle. You can combat the physical and mental effects of work stress by getting some exercise on your lunch break. If your schedule allows for it, you might try taking short exercise breaks throughout the day. This can help you blow off steam, lift your mood, and get into better shape. Do your best and reward yourself. Being a high achiever might make you feel good about yourself and help you excel at work, but being a perfectionist can create problems for you and those around you. You might not be able to do everything perfectly every time, especially in a busy, fast-paced job. A good strategy to avoid the perfectionism trap is always striving to just do your best and making time to congratulate yourself on your efforts. You may find that your results are better and you'll be much less stressed at work. Listen to music on the drive home. Listening to music offers many benefits and can be an effective way to relieve stress before, during, and after work. Playing an uplifting song while you make breakfast can help you start the day off feeling better prepared to interact with people in your life. Likewise, combating the stress of a long day with your favorite music on the drive home can help you wind down and feel less stressed when you get there. Okay, so in that article, one of the first things it mentioned is that you're not likely to find a job that's not going to cause any level of stress. So regardless of the job you have, it's best to try and find ways to manage and deal with the stress. I know personally for me, there was a time where I was jumping between jobs because every job or work I felt like it was just too stressful or things I just didn't want to deal with. And after doing that over and over and over, I finally learned that I had to figure out ways to manage and deal with that stress rather than thinking that I can just run from job to job and eventually find it that way. So starting your day off is the first step to managing workplace stress. Waking up early enough so that you're not rushing into work. Having things organized and ready to go that you will need at work, whether that's meal prep, tools, materials, files, things like that. Um, Not procrastinating where you have to rush to send an email in the morning or something like that. Just having routines so that your day is somewhat managed and you're not feeling the immediate stress as soon as your day begins. And then once you arrive at work, you don't want to start engaging in negative interactions with your colleagues or, managers or supervisors. So if you know there's people like that at your job, it may be best to avoid or limit your interaction with them. If you work at a desk, you may want to customize your own area, whether that's having a chair that's very comfortable for you, or having pictures of your family at your desk, or maybe even having some sort of essential oil diffuser, as long as you're not bothering other people with the smell. Simple things like this can help create an environment that promotes stress relief for you. Again, you're not going to be able to eliminate every stressor, but you can at least have ways to help manage and combat that stress. Don't overwhelm yourself. Yes, you may have to multitask at times, but understand when you do that's probably going to cause more stress and it may actually reduce your accuracy. So if you're expected to multitask a lot, maybe you can organize ways in which when you're multitasking, the jobs that you're doing aren't conflicting with your attention and focus to where it's just becoming more stressful and your accuracy is dropping. Again, be sure to take your lunches, your breaks. Don't just work through the whole day and not take some time to, blow off steam or relax for at least a little while. And at the end of the day, have a ritual as well. Have certain things you do to come down from that work-related stress that you may have felt. This could include listening to music on your way home, deep breaths on your way back from work, maybe talking to someone, a friend or a family member. Just find what works best for you. And if you can find routines and implement them day after day that work for you, and then change them as necessary, then this should help lead to a lower stress workplace and a more balanced work life. From Indeed.com, 26 quick ways to de-stress at work and why it matters. De-stressing at work can help you identify and overcome challenges that arise throughout the day. Many de-stressing methods only take a few minutes, allowing you to do them at your desk or on your lunch break. Understanding how to relieve stress can increase your motivation, improve your productivity, and help you feel more satisfied with your job. Number 1, organize your desk or workspace to help you stay productive and feel more accomplished throughout the day. Take a few minutes before work, after work, or in between important tasks to throw away garbage, file important documents, and put office supplies in your desk drawers. Keeping everything in its place minimizes distractions and may help you feel less stressed and more motivated. Practice deep breathing. Instead of just taking a deep breath to relieve stress, focus on how you breathe in particular. When you breathe in, imagine the air traveling to your stomach. Push your stomach out and hold for a moment. Then forcefully release the air and pull your stomach back in as you exhale. Feeling your breath enter and leave your body can help you experience the effects of increased oxygen throughout your body and mind. Take a walk. Getting out of your chair and walking for a few minutes may help you release tension. If you work in an office, try taking short walks to the water cooler or to a colleague's desk to say hello. If you work remotely, walk your dog for a few minutes or check your mail. Stretch. If muscle soreness or stiffness from sitting in an office chair all day affects your mood, try standing up and stretching to loosen tight muscles and increase blood flow. When you're comfortable, it's easier to move your focus from your body to your work, which can help you feel better and help you accomplish more. Listen to soothing music. Consider listening to music to decrease your feelings of anxiety and help you feel more connected to your work. If you find that listening to music improves your mood, pick a genre that relates to your work. For example, if you have several data values to enter into a spreadsheet, fast-paced music may help you work quicker and more efficiently. If your work requires intense focus, slow instrumental music may help you relax and concentrate. Create an ergonomic setup. Ergonomics involves setting up your workspace to eliminate discomfort. Take an ergonomic approach to working in order to minimize the physical effects of sitting at a desk for long periods. Consider adjusting your chair so your knees are level with your hips, keeping your monitor at arm's length from your face, and holding your hands well below elbow level when typing. Eat nutritious snacks. When you feel tired and stressed, consider eating a nutritious snack to help with your memory and help minimize negative thoughts or feelings. Try eating 1 or 2 healthy snacks throughout the day for a natural mood boost that benefits your body too. Exercise during work. Maintain a regular exercise routine to help improve mental performance, help you manage stress more calmly and effectively, and help increase your productivity at work. If you have other obligations that prevent you from getting up early to work out, consider performing several exercises at your desk throughout your workday. Exercises such as seated leg raises, calf raises, and chair dips may improve your physical health and help decrease stress levels. Prioritize your most challenging task. If you're more alert during the morning, consider completing your most challenging duties at the beginning of your workday. Finishing complex tasks earlier in the day may provide you with a sense of accomplishment that relieves stress and makes the rest of the day more manageable. Completing challenging duties first also gives you more flexibility to handle other concerns that arise throughout the day. Stay hydrated. Keep a glass of water by your workspace to help you stay hydrated. Staying hydrated may help decrease stress levels and improve your mood at work. A healthy fluid intake may also help with your muscle and joint flexibility, which can prevent discomfort that normally distracts you from completing your task. Call a friend. Take a few minutes to call a friend or have a quick text conversation to temporarily take your focus off work and decompress. On especially challenging days, a loved one can provide you with the support you need to relax and feel more confident in your work. You might also consider making plans for after work so you have an incentive for finishing your work. Take short breaks. If you're working on the same project for an extended period of time, consider taking regular breaks to relieve anxiety and help you feel more prepared to return to work. Schedule your breaks to help you prioritize time away from your desk. Consider adding a few 10-minute breaks to your schedule to get a glass of water. Take some deep breaths and relax. Make lists. Making lists of the work you need to complete can help you stay organized and prevent you from forgetting important tasks. You can make one list for the day or create multiple lists for different areas of work. You can also make lists by day, week, and months to keep you on track long term. Take your eyes off the screen. Look away from your computer screen for a few minutes at a time to help prevent the headaches and stress associated with screen brightness and intense focus. Concentrating on something other than your computer or phone helps your eyes rest, making it easier to resume work after a break. Try taking notes with a pen and paper instead of using a word processor to reduce screen time. Make a cup of tea. Consider making a cup of herbal tea to increase relaxation and comfort in the afternoon. A hot beverage often feels soothing, and some herbs used in tea even have therapeutic effects. Instead of pouring another cup of coffee, consider making a cup of caffeine-free tea, such as chamomile or peppermint. Do something fun at lunch. If you have a few extra minutes during your lunch break, try doing something fun to take your mind off work for a while. Draw on your notes. If you're feeling anxious, consider drawing on your notes to help your mind relax. Find the origin of your stress. To relieve stress, it helps to know its source. Daydream for a few minutes. Set aside 5 minutes at work to close your eyes and think of a happy memory, like your favorite vacation or holiday with your family. Use relaxing fragrances. Consider using aromatherapy to help you relax during a stressful situation. Practice affirmations. Positive self-talk may help you feel more confident at work, which may lead to reduced stress levels and increased productivity. Create a self-care plan. When work starts to feel overwhelming, plan a self-care routine to remind you of the importance of your physical and mental health. Laugh. Look for ways to laugh throughout your workday to improve your mood. Start work early. Consider getting an early start at work, even if you arrive just 15 minutes early. Set SMART goals. The SMART goal method can help you set goals that allow you to visualize your success. This method involves creating objectives that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Meditate. Meditating is a practice of combining breathing exercises with thoughts that help you live in the moment. When you concentrate on the present, you're likely to feel less focused on future concerns and more confident in your current work. Consider meditating during one of your work breaks. Many phone apps and books offer helpful advice on simple, quick meditation methods you can use at work or on the go. Alright, so quite a few tips for us to take away from that article. Some that we've seen in some of the previous articles, along with a couple that we haven't. Organization and being ready to go at the beginning of the day is obviously a big one that is going to set the tone for how the rest of your day may end up going. Obviously, breathing techniques and meditation is very important for stress in general, and it can also be used at work. If you have a moment where you can go aside and just take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, and focus on positive thoughts, that can be very beneficial, especially when you're feeling a stressful situation. Piggybacking off of that, you may even want to incorporate slight exercise or like walking, stretching, even like chair dips at your desk to help release the endorphins to deal with the stress. Listen to music is another one we mentioned. You can do this before, after work, and even at work if it doesn't affect your work. Comfortability, this includes things such as, again, organization, your comfortability of your work chair if you have a chair or whatever environment you're working in, the ability to find the things you need, the materials you need, and the tools you need to do your job. Very important. Also, the positioning of like keyboards and mouses and things like that can all help with reducing the strain on your body and reducing that stress. Try to eat healthy, snacking or healthy meals when you can, and staying hydrated by drinking plenty of water, especially if you work outside in a hot environment. Staying hydrated and things like that is very important, not only for stress but for your safety in general. If you do have certain people at work that help relieve stress that you get along with well, you may want to speak with them a little bit, or even call a friend from somewhere else and just kind of de-stress by communicating with someone else. Doing something fun. I mean, if you like crossword puzzles or things like that, it's a quick, easy, fun activity for you, and it'll help relieve some of that daily stress that you may be feeling at work. Drawing is another one. Daydreaming. Or even, as I mentioned before, having a diffuser with certain essential oils for aromatherapeutic effects. Okay, so that covers the tips and tricks for dealing with workplace stress. Again, very relatable, something that almost all of us deal with, if not on a day-to-day basis, at least on a weekly or monthly basis, to different extents. So I'm hoping from this podcast today that you're able to take something that helps you in your situation to help relieve that stress. And also, if you know some tips that wasn't mentioned today, please leave them in the comments so that others can potentially benefit from those stress relief tactics as well. But with that being said, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Infinite Moment Podcast, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take it easy.